What's up, guys? Welcome back from the MLG studios here in New York City. I'm axeltoss, joined by axslav. We're about to jump into the last game of the night. Of course, 4 matches per night, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. Watching the Challenger League. This is day 2. And Killer versus Top. They're tied 1-1.
They are. That game 2 was... That was tense. That could have gone an intense macro battle. Could have gone either way for such a long time. Killer had great creep spread, which helped him so much there. He said that the flanks well, but he just didn't quite have enough units.
He kept trying to set up that flank, which I thought was really cool. But then Top just force fielded one side and then just engaged the other side by blinking forward.
Yeah. I honestly, this isn't something that I'm going to say is strategy advice for the Zergs out there, but I personally feel that Pure Roach is actually better at defending that timing. If it's not immortal, so just Blink, Stalker, Sentry. Roaches are so much cheaper, you can produce them at a greater rate. But I don't know, it's a hard to call, but Killer looks so good that game, but Top's micro is just, it was absolutely stellar there, which is super, super impressive to see. Here we are, game number 3, the deciding game is going to be on Ackland Waste.
Yes, indeed, the map that has produced many an exciting contest. This is the last game of the night. Between spawning in the bottom right-hand location, started out the series down 0-1, coming back to tie it up 1-1. Hailing from China, he is Top. His opponent in the top left-hand location, your Red Zerg player hailing from Chile, was 3rd in his round of 32 Premier League group stage, involving Hero, Alive, and Major. Trying to get back into Premier League, and winning this game would help that cause. He is Killer. From Clarity Gaming.
I have to think Killer's got to be happy with this map.
Yeah?
If you think about, it's not like, oh, Zergs love this map in general. It's the fact that Top has been doing 2 base all-ins first two games. Ackland Waste is a map where I honestly don't think 2 base all-ins are quite as good. The Zerg typically takes their 3rd base below where the main would be, right? So it would be at that 9 o'clock location, would be the 3rd base of Killer. And trying to push in there, the Zerg can set up such a massive concave in that open area, kind of in front of all their bases. That is, it's very, very, it's a perfect spot for Zerg to set up a massive concave. And it's unique in that almost every map has a spot where you can set up that concave. Like Daybreak, it's right by the watchtower, right? Right. But on most maps, it's significantly more towards the middle of the map, further away from your rally point, further away from your creep. So for Zerg to be able to get up a great concave in an open engagement that's right by the rally point, they can have creep spread to that location, at least part of it as well. It makes it much easier to defend those 2 base timings.
Of course, this is one of those maps where it's not too out of the ordinary to see the game extend to those late game moments, because the 3rd base on this map is pretty easy to defend stuff compared to other maps. There's a small little choke point outside of that 3rd base.
This is a map where even some of those die-hard 2 base timing Protoss players are like, well, this is a bad map for 2 base timing, and it's the easiest map to take a 3rd base. I guess I'll have to take a 3rd on. So.
And then you see the 3 base timing, which can be really good.
Oh, yeah. There's some crazy maps.
Like right when you start mining that 3rd base, just hitting with everything. Like 50 gateways.
There's a cool one where you never get a forge. It's off a gate expand, you just gate expand again, and you literally never get a forge. You just hit with like 13 gateways of Blink Stalkers. That's awesome. And it hits so fast, the Zerg's like, what? Like, how do you have this many units? Like, you took a 3rd base, so I was going mutas, but you hit me before my Spire even finished. Like,
it kind of reminds me of Entombed Valley a little bit.
Yes, it's very similar to that.
Take a really 3rd base and get some fancy 3 base timings going.
Entombed, there was some absolutely wicked 3 base timings.
Yeah.
I love the one. There's ones where you just take a 3rd but don't even like probe it much. You just go 8 gates.
Yeah.
I really love getting a lot of gateways and killing Zergs. I can't help it. It's so fun. Of course, we'll see what these players opt to do. Gateway.
Probe.
Oh! That probably should not have happened. And Killer is going to be pretty happy with that. I mean, I guess he didn't really learn much more than he did with his first Overlord that realized it was a gateway expanded, not a fast Nexus. But he did get a probe kill for 2 Zerglings, which is good.
Yep.
That's a good trade because those Zerglings, of course, Weren't going to do much else.
Whoa, 4 gates on the way here.
We are going to see... So as I was talking about how this isn't the best for 2-base timings because of positional reasons, Top's like, okay, I won't do a positional-based timing. I'll do like a scout-based timing where I just try to hit him so fast before he's ready for it, and it doesn't matter the positions because the unit counts are so low. So that's his take on it. He's like, bad map for you know, using force fields. Let's hit him before it gets to the point where you want to care about force fields.
This looks like a muta build or something from Killer too. He's staying on 2 bases, going up to 3 gases.
Yeah. And in theory, the 2-base builds normally are very good versus these gateway, very aggressive probe-cutting gateway builds, if the Zerg can scout it and build spines. Because they only have one location to defend, so spines are insanely efficient at defense. But if you have no idea it's coming, I mean, you just don't have the production. You don't have a roach horn. You can't build roaches. You need like 4 to 5 spines instantly. Luckily, he's had the map control to deny any early pylons. So Top's going to have to cross the map, start a pylon, wait for the pylon to finish, and then start warping units in on Killer's side of the map. And that should give Killer enough time to build more spines, because he's going to need a lot of spines against this.
Making lots of lings right now. Speed is not yet done. Mothership Core throwing down a Time Warp. Those Queens have to be careful. They can get force fielded pretty easily.
I don't know if Killer should try to hold the low ground here. I mean, he can right now, up until the extra Zealots catch up. And I don't know if he's taking this serious enough. Only 2 more spines back there. I think he needs 4 to 5. Of course, he doesn't know the exact build coming in. His Overlord Scout, his sees the pro production is cut actually to main. So
a lot of lings. Speed is about to kick in. There it goes. Going to try to get the surround force fields going down here from Killer, but he can just back away if he wants. And then engage another day. More Zealots being warped in here from Top.
Oh, moving more spines down.
He wants to defend that 3rd.
Yeah, he really wants to hold the 3rd, but he doesn't need to. If he doesn't die this, he's going to win because he's better attack with the Zergian upgrades.
That's so many Zealots.
So, and even without +1, it's just the number is going to beat back these speedlings.
Yeah, he's trying to go toe-to-toe with the Zealots. 16 more lings in production, but you need so many speedlings to deal with this many Zealots, especially when the Zealots are properly microed.
I don't think Killer can defend
Look at
this
all the
anymore.
Zealots.
Yeah, it's just
13 Zealots still in the field.
When you go with 2-base tech type build, you don't have the larva production or the mineral income because you don't have that faster base to produce the number of units you need to produce. Now the drones are being pulled. Just
Zealots are still alive. Time Warp going down.
There's so many Zealots.
And more Protoss units coming in here. 1-1 is about 70% of the way done here for Killer. And this is a kind of build that's pretty much directly countering the style of Killer, going for the fast Zergling upgrades. Of course, we're seeing a lot of Zerg players do this in the current metagame.
Yeah, a very surprise-oriented build. Because it's not easy for the Zerg to tell how committed the Protoss is. Obviously, if you knew the exact build, if you had a map pack, you just would have built 5 spawns at the top of this ramp and sat back and waited to win. But, you know, he thought it was more of a light pressure.
There it is. GG, well played. Top takes victory. Wow, after Killer winning the first game pretty darn convincingly.
Yeah.
Top coming up with some nice 2-base all-ins that work pretty darn well.
They did. They did. It's weird. Aquilon Waste is a map where your traditional 2-base timings just don't work. The force fields aren't effective. It's too open. If Zerg gets a bunch of roaches, they'll easily stop your timings. But Top says, you know what? I'll just hit even faster. Now I'll do a surprise base build. And Killer had no idea this was coming. He thought this was like light 4-gate pressure. Maybe like what Minigun did on Daybreak.
Because I don't think he saw the gateways at the front door. Oddly enough, he saw the 2 gates in the main.
He had it overloaded in the main. He saw there was no probes being produced. But maybe because he's trying to micro at the same time, he might not have quite noticed that. But I mean, this is a build that Killer. It's not like this build's broken. If he identified it fast enough, you just build 5 spines and you're natural, and you're like, okay, 2-base versus 2-base, but I have better upgrades. I have a way higher drone count.
Right.
Because the Protoss cuts probes so early with that build, and the Zerg will be way ahead. But he thought it was a light pressure, and he knew it was okay. Light pressure. I should defend my 3rd base, and there's just too many Zealots to do that.
Yeah, great job there from Top, taking Killer off guard. Let's go to recap what has happened today. Of course, starting off, we had the Muslim taking out Maker 2-1. Illusion taking out Max at 2-0. Ian over Minigun 2-1, and Top over Killer 2-1 again. The winners of all these matches will advance to the next round of the Challenger League bracket stage. So congrats to all the winners. And of course, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday, we're going to have some more StarCraft 2 action coming your way, starting out with Hart versus Tasia, State versus Drunken Boy, Ghost User versus Swangzin, and Idra versus Puck. That's going to be a great day.
It is. Hart, Tasia, 2 top Korean players, and Idra Puck. Those of you guys haven't been following. Puck knocked Hyun out of the challenge. Like Hyun's like, okay, I'm gonna go over to America and play in the Challenger division. He didn't make it through the Challenger qualifiers because Puck knocked him out. And then actually Sage knocked him out of the lower bracket. It was a double elimination, and he got knocked out by Puck and Sage. So Puck is insanely good, and I mean,
Puck is scary good.
Yeah, I'm afraid for Idra in that match.
The last MLG, he was telling me he's like, axeltoss, look out. In 3 months, I'm going to be the best player in North America. That's what he said to me. And I think it's definitely possible. So we'll see how Puck fares against Idra. Again, that's all coming your way tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. But that concludes our matches for today. You've been watching the World Championship Series of America. Of course, coming up next, we have Rules of Engagement.
That's right. We're going to be analyzing some of the games from Group G of the WCS America Premier League that was played on Thursday, of course. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of PVZs. So 2 games from the Sen vs. Crank series that were insanely exciting, a lot of awesome play. Then a game from the Huck vs. Sen series, and that one was pretty awesome too. So take a look at some macro games, some 2-base classic timing, some ultraless rushes, a lot of cool PVZ plays.
Yeah, guys, stay tuned. The best StarCraft 2 analysis you're going to find anywhere from axslav, of course, coming up next on the stream. And again, thank you so much for watching. Of course, as the days go along, the matches get better, they get more exciting. And of course, next week we begin with the round of 16 of the WCS Premier League. It's all going to be live. But that does it for tonight, guys. From myself, from axslav, from everyone here at MLG, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.